There are threads that connect our world. Some are physical, like the roads we drive on or the wires that power our homes. But others are invisible, woven from data and code, creating a digital fabric that underpins modern life. Most of the time, this network operates silently in the background. But sometimes, a thread comes loose. A connection is exposed, and we are given a brief, unfiltered glimpse into the systems that run our world. Welcome to Vanishing Threads. Today we ask a simple question. What is the internet? For most of us, it's a familiar landscape of social media feeds, search results, and video streams. It's a tool, a library, and a town square. But beyond these well-lit spaces lies a vast, unseen infrastructure. A world of raw data, automated systems, and live feeds that monitor and control the physical world around us. Occasionally, a door to this world is left open. Internet users stumble upon them. Websites that do nothing but display streams of numbers, cryptic readouts, or simple, stark control panels. No explanation, no context. These are what the internet has dubbed monitoring stations. And while some are harmless curiosities, others are windows into systems that should never have been connected to the public web. Internet lore is filled with tales of mysterious websites, stories of unexplained data streams, cryptic numerical displays, and anonymous control panels discovered in the depths of the web have captivated online communities for decades. But the truth behind most real-life monitoring stations is less about shadowy conspiracies and more about a mundane, but far more dangerous reality. Unsecured infrastructure. In October of 2023, the cybersecurity firm BitSight released a startling report. They had identified nearly 100,000 industrial control systems, or ICS, that were exposed to the public internet. These weren't hidden on the dark web. They were visible through conventional means, a figure that highlights a significant global security risk. So, what exactly is an industrial control system? These aren't websites in the traditional sense. They are the digital dashboards that operate physical machinery. Think of the building automation system that controls the elevators, HVAC, and fire suppression in a skyscraper. Or the automatic tank gauges that monitor fuel levels at tens of thousands of gas stations. On a much larger scale, ICS manage municipal traffic light grids, water treatment facilities, and even national power grids. These systems are the nerve centers of modern industry and infrastructure. Historically, ICS were isolated. They operated on closed proprietary networks, completely disconnected from the internet, a concept known as an air gap. Security was physical. You needed to be in the control room to access the panel. But the drive for efficiency, remote monitoring, and data collection led to a paradigm shift. Companies began connecting these legacy systems to their corporate IT networks, which were, in turn, connected to the internet. This convergence of operational technology and information technology created unforeseen vulnerabilities. The air gap vanished. Finding one of these exposed systems isn't like discovering a hidden website. It's like finding a factory's control room with the door unlocked and the lights on. And the tool used to find these doors is surprisingly public, a search engine called Shodan. Unlike Google, which indexes web content, Shodan indexes the internet itself. It constantly scans the entire range of IP addresses, looking for open ports and collecting the banners, text-based information that services provide to identify themselves. A web server might return a banner identifying it as Apache. A printer might identify its model number, and an industrial control system might return a banner identifying its manufacturer, like Rockwell Automation or Siemens, and the specific protocol it uses, such as Modbus or DMP3. With a simple search query on Shodan, anyone can find these systems. A search for port 502s can reveal devices using the Modbus protocol, common in industrial settings. A search for Rockwell Automation can pinpoint specific hardware. Shodan doesn't hack anything. It simply reports what is openly advertising itself to the public internet. It's an index of the internet's forgotten, unsecured, and misconfigured backdoors. While the most sophisticated cyber attacks involve resources beyond a simple search engine, they target the same fundamental weakness that Shodan exposes: critical infrastructure connected to the internet without adequate protection. The public index of these systems is just the tip of a very dangerous iceberg. The consequences of unauthorized access are severe, and we have seen exactly what can happen when these systems are compromised. On December 23, 2015, something unprecedented happened in Ukraine. 3 different energy distribution companies were simultaneously compromised. Operators watched helplessly as cursors moved on their screens, remotely clicking circuit breakers and shutting down substations. The attack used a sophisticated piece of malware known as Black Energy, which had been deployed through phishing emails containing malicious Microsoft Office documents. It plunged over 230,000 people into darkness during the cold of winter. This was a landmark event, the first publicly acknowledged cyber attack to successfully take down a nation's power grid. This wasn't an isolated incident. A year later, in December 2016, another sophisticated piece of malware called Indestroyer, or Crash Override, was used in a second attack on Ukraine's power grid. The malware was specifically designed to understand and speak the language of grid equipment protocols. It sent commands that opened circuit breakers, causing widespread blackouts in Kyiv during the middle of winter. It was one of the first times a piece of malware was confirmed to have been built to disrupt physical infrastructure on a large scale. More recently, in May 2021, a ransomware attack on Colonial Pipeline's corporate IT network led the company to proactively shut down its operational pipeline, which carries nearly half of the East Coast's fuel supply. While the attackers didn't directly control the pipeline's ICS, the risk of the infection spreading from the IT network to the OT network was so great that the company halted all operations. This caused fuel shortages, panic buying, and a declared state of emergency in several states. It was a stark demonstration of how vulnerable our physical supply chains are to digital threats. The BitSite report noted that the sectors most affected were not just utilities and manufacturing, but also education and government. These are the quiet, humming engines of our society, and in thousands of cases, they are connected to the internet with minimal security, often without their operators even knowing. But not every monitoring station is a disaster waiting to happen. Some are intentionally public, offering a fascinating real-time glimpse into complex operations. Perhaps the most famous and awe-inspiring example is the live telemetry feed from the International Space Station. For decades, access to this kind of data was the exclusive domain of mission control centers at NASA, Roscosmos, and the ESA. Today, it's open to the public. Through a set of public APIs and data streams, NASA provides a constant flow of information from the station. This isn't just a simple GPS tracker, it's a torrent of raw data covering thousands of parameters. You can track the station's precise orbital position, velocity, and altitude. You can monitor the status of its life support systems, oxygen levels, temperature, and pressure. You can see the real-time power generation from its massive solar arrays and the position of its thermal radiators, which are constantly adjusting to dissipate heat. Citizen scientists, hobbyists, and developers have built incredible open-source projects using this data. There are websites that provide 3D visualizations of the ISS, dashboards that translate the raw telemetry into human-readable graphs, and even Twitter bots that post updates on the station's status. This is a monitoring station by design, a deliberate act of transparency meant to educate, inspire, and engage the public with one of humanity's greatest scientific achievements. And that is the strange duality of the Internet's monitoring stations. They represent both the incredible potential for open information and the colossal risks of insecure infrastructure. For every fascinating intentional data stream, like the one from the ISS, there are thousands of unintentional dangerous ones. Forgotten systems, misconfigured servers, and legacy hardware connected to the modern internet without adequate protection. They are a stark reminder that the web is far more than what we see in our browsers. It's a complex, layered world, deeply integrated with our physical reality. And sometimes, in the quietest corners of the network, you can find a window into the machines that run our world, and hope that the window isn't open for the wrong reasons. Thanks for tuning in. As always, stay curious, stay safe,